Hey guys, Spider Games here. In this video, I'm going to show you how I farm for Gil in Final Fantasy XV. This method of farming Gil involves being on Chapter 9 of the main story and traveling to Altissia. When we arrive in Altissia, we want to find the Arena Galviano where we need to exchange Gil for medals. I'll show you how to get to the arena at the end of the video, but first I want to tell you exactly how this farm works. But at the end of the video, there's going to be a full length how I get to the arena from the hotel, if you don't know where the arena actually is. 10 Gil goes for 1 medal. I exchanged 5,000 Gil for 500 medals and managed to turn those 500 medals into 100,000 medals within 20 minutes. I then turned that into 500,000 medals within the hour. Now that we have a large amount of medals, we want to look at the prizes, and at the bottom of the prize list, we'll find Great Garula Tusks that cost 2,500 medals each and can be sold at any vendor for 700 Gil. Now this is how we're gonna farm. We can only carry 99 Great Garula Tusks on us at a time, so if you farm a lot of medals like I did, you'll have to travel back and forth from the arena to the nearest vendor, which is actually located at the entrance of the arena. This is also the vendor you buy the different horns from to be used in the arena. One horn we want for farming is the Horn of Madness, but I'll be going over that in a little bit. Now that I've shown you the big picture and what it is exactly that I'm doing to make Gil off of this, I want to go over my strategy for fighting in the arena, but first let's do some math here. I started with 500 medals, which cost 5,000 Gil. Took 20 minutes or less to turn that 500 medals into 100,000 medals, right? Which can buy 40 Great Garula Tusks that can be sold for 28,000 Gil at a vendor. Now, if you actually buy 99 Great Garula Tusks, which is the max amount that you can carry on your person, that's gonna cost you 247,500 medals, which equals 69,300 Gil at a vendor. 500,000 medals buys 200 Great Garula Tusks, which equals 140,000 Gil, which took 1 hour starting with 500 medals or 5,000 Gil. Now, I would say that this method is worth it. You make 140,000 Gil in under an hour, and that was before I knew what I was doing. Now let's talk about the arena itself. I'm going to be thorough, so let's cover the bulletin points, then I'll explain in detail what each of these things mean. Now, there are 5 factors I rely on to win a bet in the arena, and they are odds, which are the multipliers, condition, overall health, level of the monsters, which equals attack and health. The number of monsters is a factor that equals damage output, but also means that the monsters should be weak. So if they get singled out, they're gonna die quickly. The monster itself is a big factor. Some of the monsters you're gonna have to get to know because some of them just can't be beat. You can't bet against them. The Gigantoad is one of them. Red Legs or Red Rum is another. The Cory, it's also called the Blaster Bro in the arena, is something I never bet against, although I've seen it die a lot. Let's see, and there's the Scarn Violet. I don't know. It's called the Lantern Shields. It puts out a lot of damage, and it can take a lot of damage too. You're going to need to get to know the monsters, but also the odds are a big factor. And the condition is just as big a factor, if not bigger. Now, another factor are the horns themselves. You're going to be using horns to help your monster. I'll go over the horns real quick. There's the Horn of Tenacity, which improves defense. The Horn of Resolve, which improves the attack. Horn of Fortitude, which is free. You actually get that. And that gives your monster 500 health up to. I've seen it go over 500. I've seen it less than 500. There's a Horn of Cleansing. It gets rid of ailments. I'm not sure what that means. I don't know if your monster gets poisoned. I've never seen my monster get poisoned, but it's supposed to cure that. And then there's the Horn of Madness, which is my favorite that you actually have to buy. It makes your monster go berserk. It has a really strong attack, but it also has a weak defense. So the Horn of Madness, you're sacrificing defense for an even stronger attack, and that does come in handy, and I'll let you know when. Now, the odds are the most important factor here. The lower the number, the more likely the monster's going to win. the higher the number, the less likely the monster is going to win. Which makes sense because this is the multiplier. So if you have a 4, that means that you're going to get 4 times the money. But if he's going against a monster that's just got a multiplier of 1, or the odds say 1.9, then that monster is more likely going to win. But that's why you also have to look at the condition, because if you look at the condition and the monster with the multiplier of 4 has a high condition, it's totally filled out. And if the monster with the very low multiplier of 1.9, I would bet on the monster with the higher multiplier. And that's how you actually make the most money. Now, a really good example of when the Horn of Madness came in handy was when I had a multiplier of 9.1. This means I should have lost 9 times over. Not really. But I actually won 81,000 medals from that multiplier, which equals 22,680 gil. And I made that within 30 seconds to a minute. I'm not saying that you're going to be making 22,000 gil a minute, but that's when I got really lucky. That's what this is. It's a game of luck. Sometimes your monster will just look at a wall and stare while it dies. I've lost matches I should have won according to the odds or the multiplier alone. So you'll get the hang of it. You got to get to know the monsters, look at all the factors. Make sure you got the horns that you find come in handy. I think that's the Horn of Madness and, of course, the Horn of Fortitude. But that's my own strategy for doing this. If there's a faster strategy, somebody's got this really down, and they got a video out on that, I would use that strategy to farm for the medals, because you're going to be making more gil that way. So I hope you guys found this informative. I hope you found this helpful. Please subscribe, because there's going to be more Final Fantasy content coming, and I could use the support on making videos on a new game, which is always hard. But I think you guys will appreciate this information enough. So guys, that's it. It's really simple, even though I needed to explain to you a lot of things. Once you get it down, man, farming for the gil is really easy. You're not really farming for gil. You're actually spending gil on medals, farming for medals, farming for the horns, which you're going to exchange for gil. It's that simple, guys, but that's it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.